اللي هي what join two sentences together. Like the plus and minus that we have on the numbers, we have the connectives between the propositions. So we said that we have the propositions like we have P, like we have a Q, like we have R, like we have S, and so on. This is what we call a proposition. To be a proposition, it should have a fact. And to be a proposition, this fact should be something that we can tell it's true and something that we can tell it is false. Okay, we said in this proposition can be simple. Simple in the mean it has only one fact in it. Whenever it has one fact, we say it's a symbol. Like for example, if I say I have P, it's a proposition that today is Sunday. One fact. Well, just one fact I can find in this statement. Now the statement can be compound. ايش يعني compound؟ يعني مركبة. ايش يعني مركبة؟ It can has two, it can has three, and so on of facts. More than one fact it means. Okay, like if I say P and Q, we agreed in هذه and, huh? Like if I say today is Sunday and today I have exam. هذه كم fact فيها؟ It has a two fact. Today is Sunday and I have exam. I join them with what we call connectives. هذه and is a connective. يا نسميها connective يا نسميها operator. Okay? We talked about connective. ما خلصنا كلام عن connectives حتى. We said إن عندنا and this is the sample for the and. We say that we have the or, and this is the sample of the or. We say that we have طبعا أول شيء. What was the first one that we talked about? Not. Remember the negation. If I say not P, يعني today Sunday, today is not Sunday. Okay, فكان عندنا أول شيء not, بعدين and, بعدين عندنا or, and also we talked about the XOR, the exclusive or, and this is the sample that we use, and we have the implication اللي هو implies اللي هو هذا, right? Yeah. مثلا you study hard, then if you study hard, then you will get an A. Okay, so this is the implies. F and then the cause and the effect. That's correct. We remain with one connective اللي هو biconditional. The biconditional, the if and only if, and this is what we are gonna talk about today. The if and only if اللي هو has a two direction. Also, last time we talked about constructing what we call the truth table. Remember? قلنا احنا نسوي truth table. The truth table, if I have just one P, what will be the size of my table? ما عندي إلا one thing. ما عندي إلا just P. How many rows I will have in my table? I will have two rows. My P can be مرة false ولا true. ما عندي أي option ثاني, صح ولا لا؟ فالtable will have actually هنا two rows if you remember. راح يكون عندي two rows. Then if I have two propositions P و Q. Now how many rows I will have? راح تكون 2 to the power 2. ال 2 هذه كانت الثابتة والباور هي اللي قاعدة تتغير, right? It's 2 to the power 2 which is 4 rows. Half of the 4. نص ال 4 كم؟ 2. نص ال 2 كم؟ 1. الحين أبدأ أربط ال 2 مع ال P وال 1 with the Q. If you remember from last time, نمشي عليها زي السيستم. So we construct the table. اتفقنا ان التيبل راح يكون فيه 4 rows. بيكون عندي هنا P, عندي Q. The P is jumping to 2. يقفز 2. So it's gonna be 2 false. It's gonna be 2 true. وال Q is jumping by 1. So it's gonna be مرة false, مرة true, مرة false, ومرة true. And this is my 4 rows table. Good. Now it could happen ان انا عندي P وعندي Q وعندي R. I have 3 of them. Then how many rows I will have? It is 2 to the power 3, which is 8. فراح يكون عندي 8 rows. الجنرال عندي 2 to the power n. ننتبه هذا القانون، ال n تتغير كل مرة، مرة راح تكون 1، مرة راح تكون 2، مرة راح تكون 3. 2 to the power 3 this time لأن عندي P وعندي Q وعندي R. 2 to the power 3 is equal to 8. So this means I have 8 rows. أبدأ أقسم نص ال 4 نص ال 8 sorry. نص ال 8 كم؟ 4. Half of the 4 2. Half of the 2 1. أبدأ أسوي لها dividing الحين على ال P وال Q وال R. This will be for the P. This will be with the Q. This will be with my R. بعدين I construct the table. أسوي التيبل، والتيبل راح يكون فيها مرة P مرة Q ومرة ال R. yeah. هنا عندي ال P، هنا عندي ال Q، هنا عندي ال R. الحين ال P تمشي كيف؟ How is the P going؟ 4 بمعنى إيش؟ 4 false 2 3 4 and 4 true. True and true. What about the Q? What about the Q now? It's gonna go 2 2. That's correct. 2 false, 2 true, 2 false, and 2 true. What about the R? The R is 1 1. So it will go like false true, false true, false true, false, and true. Yeah. Good. So this is in case we have 3 propositions. طبعا I show you also the case when you have 4 proposition. 4 proposition is going to be 2 to the power 4. It's going to be 16. It will go like 8 8 4 4 2 2 and 1 1. Yeah. If you start with the true, start the true all the time. بدأنا بالfalse, start with the false all the time. You can start with the true, it's fine. لكن start with the true all the time. مش مرة نبدأ بالtrue مرة نبدأ بالfalse. الحين عدد الpower depends on how many I can see in the sentence. Let me show you an example now. شوفوا معي الexample. Construct the truth table للcompound proposition هذا. الحين check this compound proposition. How many propositions I have داخله؟ كم symbol موجودة فيها؟ ما عندي إلا P and Q. عندي negation of Q. عندي P and Q. لكن البيس الsymbol proposition they are 2. فالpower is 2. It is actually 2 to the power 2 هنا. Which is 4. فأعرف إن أنا عندي 4 rows. وأبدأ أشوف نص ال 4 2 نص ال 2 1. So هذه مع P وهذه مع Q. عرفتوا كيف عرفنا الباور؟ الباور I know it when I look at the proposition that I have. The compound proposition. كم symbol موجود فيها؟ فيها P و Q بس. So I have 2 of them. This is 2 to the power 2. I have 4 rows. So we construct the table. نحط 4 rows. 2 false 2 true لل P. The Q goes like 1 1 معناها false true false and true. Then I start to check what I have to do. أول شيء إن أنا عندي negation of P negation of Q. So I have to make a 1 column for negation of Q. negation of Q يعني ايش؟ يعني not Q، يعني the opposite of Q. إذا ال Q false it will be true. إذا ال Q true it will be false. عكس. So it will be true, false then. This is the negation of P. I don't need negation of Q this one. I don't need negation of P, so خلاص ما يحتاج أجيب negation of P. What else do I need? We do the bracket. دائما احنا لما يكون عندنا أشياء زي كذا we have to check what we have to do. We do the bracket. القوس الأول is P or negation Q. والsecond bracket is P and Q. بعدين we take P or negation Q implies P and Q. Okay. فسوينا column لل P or negation Q, column لل P and Q, وبعدين column لل implication of this goes to this. الحين we start working one by one. If I'm doing this, I'm doing this one here. I'm doing P or negation of Q. هذا ال P وهذا negation of Q. I'm connecting them with what? قاعدة أجمعهم بإيش؟ بأور. Do you remember what we said about OR? هذه OR هذه. إيش فيها الأور؟ لا الأور ما هي شديدة. الأور nice. الأور easy going. بس تشوف true تصير true. يا صح ولا لا؟ الأور بس تشوف true تطلع true على طول. So I'm doing this and this with OR. false or true? True. False or false? It is false. True, 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 true and false, true. الأور دائما true ما عدا لما يكون اثنين false. بس تشوف واحدة true it's gonna be true. And remember this example when I told you عندي أحمد وعندي محمد. I'm gonna do a party لما أحمد يجيب A or محمد يجيب A. So I'm gonna do a party if this one taken A or this one taken A. Or both of them taken A. The case that I'm not gonna have a party لما يكون both of them are false. Good. So this is my OR for the P negation Q. واضحة هذه؟ طيب I'm joining P and Q now. I'm joining with and. What about the and? and كيف تتصرف? What's the action of the and? شديدة. It is false. بس لما all of them are true, it's true. It's always false. Except the case when both of them are true. ننتبه إن I'm joining ال P وال Q with and. قاعد أجمعهم بالand. So false and false, it's false. False and true, it's false. True and false, it's false. True and true is true. So this is the column for P and Q. Good. بعدين I have to find the implication. من وين لوين? From this one to this one. من ال P or negation Q إلى ال P and Q, and the direction is very important هنا. طيب, can somebody remind me about the implication? إيش الأكشن حق الimplication هذا? الimplies. It is false case واحدة. لما true تروح لfalse it will be false. Otherwise it's true. لا مش المتشابهات غلط. بس لما true تروح لfalse. الحين لما false تروح لtrue it's true. ولما false تروح لfalse it's true. ولما true تروح لtrue it's true. It's only false لما true تروح لfalse. تذكرون المرة الماضية؟ We explained that. We said إن ممكن إن شيء خطأ ما ذاكرت لكن أجيب A لأن I'm smart. ما ذاكرت وما جبت A. صح؟ This makes sense. True take to true. False take to false is true. False go to true is true. Only case when it's false لما الترو تروح لفالse. Yeah? So check it هنا. هذه true رايحة لفالse. So it's false. هذه false رايحة لفالse. It's true. مع انها false ترى بس الناتج true لأنها it is logical. True go to false is false. True go to true is true. Yeah? So we construct the table. خلاص كذا we are done. قال يبغى the truth table of P or negation of Q implies to P and Q, and this is the answer. And the good thing in they put a bracket to show you how to work. Practice. The more you practice, the easier it became. هذا أسهل سؤال عادة في الإكزام يكون. هذا السؤال اللي all the students solve it. ماشي؟ We can move on. Is it clear? Does anybody have any question? Any specific question? We will have more examples. Okay, راح يكون عندنا more examples. Don't worry. Here. We are talking here about important logical equivalence. إيش يعني logical equivalence? Now the word logical equivalence أو كلمة equivalence زي كلمة equal. الحين for the numbers we have equal, but for logical expression we say they are logical equivalent. They are saying هنا إن negation P or Q نفسها ال P implies Q. This is what they are claiming. إن they are logical equivalent يعني كأن هذه نفسها هذه. طب how can متكافئ بالضبط. How can we prove they are logical equivalent? We construct the truth table. I find the value of the negation P or Q. I find the value of P implies Q, and as you can see, زي بعض ولا لا? They are the same, which means they are logical equivalent. Okay? So you can see the table. If I want to prove that this is equivalent to this, how many propositions I have? هذه قانون by the way. هذه واحدة من القوانين اللي مرة مهمة. And the negation of P or Q is equivalent to P implies Q. How many propositions عندي؟ عندي 2 propositions. عندي P وعندي Q. فأنا I know إن I have 2 to the power 2, which is 4 rows in my table. نص ال 4 is 2, and this 2 will go with the P. نص ال 2 is 1, and this one will go with the Q. I construct my table. My table will have 4 rows, as you can see. The P will go like false, false, true, true, and the Q will go with false, true, false, and true. طيب, and also I need the negation of P. They didn't add it here, but we should add it actually. لازم يكون عندي هنا a negation of P. What's negation of P? اللي هو not P. The P is false, false, true, true, so it will be true, true, false, and false. Then I find the negation of P or Q. بربطهم بالor. False or true is true. True or true is true. False or false is false. True or false is true. الor دائما بس تشوف true تصير true على طول. Okay, ما تصير false إلا لما both of them are false. It is all true ما عدا this case. Okay, طيب أعيدها manual. Let me repeat this. I want to prove إن P implies Q نفسها negation of P or Q. This is what I'm trying to prove. إن هذه equal to هذه. So we said that we have two propositions. We have P and Q. So I will have a table, and this table will have 4 rows. This is my P, this is my Q. Now the P, it's false, false, true, true. The Q is false to true, false and true. Good. Then I check my statement. ايش راح احتاج بعد؟ Usually نشوف إذا نحتاج negation. I need the negation of P here. I need the negation of P. What's the negation of P? Can you tell me? Can somebody tell me what's the negation of P here? Exactly. It is 2 true. It is 2 false. What else do I need? ايش احتاج؟ احتاج اجيب negation of P or Q. And I need to find P implies the Q. Now, what does it mean negation of P or Q? يعني هذه وهذه I'm gonna join them with or. or is always true. ما عدا لما both false. So if I check this and this is true. True or true, it's a true. False, false, it's false. True, false is a true. We must know those rules. الرولز هذه حقت الامبليكيشن، كيف يتحرك في الترو تيبل، the or, the and. بعدين I will take P to Q with implication، يعني من هنا لهنا. اتفقنا ان الامبليكيشن is false في حالة واحدة، لما true رايحة لي false. It's the only case it's gonna be false, otherwise it's true. فfalse رايحة ل false is true. False رايحة ل true is true. True go to false is false and true go to true is true. الحين check هذا نفس هذا ولا لا؟ Yeah, which mean إن هذا وهذا are equal, so they are equivalent. معناها negation P or Q نفسها P implies a Q. It means they are the same. Uh-oh. One second, it hanged. كيف يعني ما تحتاج تطلع الأور بما أنهم نفسهم؟ I didn't get it. الحين أنا أشوف هو إيش يبغى بالضبط. ما احتجت أنا شيء، ما احتجت ليش أجيبه. Yeah, one time we found negation P or Q, and one time we find P implies Q. مرة جبنا هذا ومرة جبنا هذا لأن I want to prove that this is equivalent to this. مو شرط دائما مطلوبة، لا. No, it's not necessarily. مو شرط تكون مطلوبة. You will see more examples. يعني شايفين example هذا؟ Can you see this is truth table? They want P or Q implies negation of R. Now هنا we have to work the precedence. Precedence اللي هي القوة. What's the strongest thing? البراكت. لما في bracket we have to start with it. Then the negation. النفي هذه زي علامة الماينس. It should be stuck to the number. It should be stuck to the proposition. بعدين an and will or and the exclusive or are number 3. Whatever comes left to right نشتغل من اليسار لليمين. And the implication by conditional has the fourth precedence. And last طبعا احنا we have to work always from left to right. So for example, if you check this truth table here, أول شيء إن how many propositions we have. عندي P وعندي Q وعندي R. Yeah? I have P, I have Q, I have R. I have 3 of them. So I'm talking about 2 to the power 3, which is 8 rows. بعدين أبدأ أنصفها. Half of it 4 للP, half of it 2 للQ, half of it is 1, which is for the R. معناها ان البي راح تمشي 4 الكيو like 2 والار is 1 so we construct the table راح يكون في 8 rows as you can see. البي فيها 4 false بعدين 4 2 الكيو 2 false 2 true 2 false and 2 true. ايش 2 to the power 3 يا فاطمة؟ mathematically ايش يعني 2 to the power 3؟ معناها 2 multiply with 2 multiply with 2 اللي هي 8. التكافؤ يعني equivalent يعني يساوي يعني it's the same. Okay. The R goes like false true, false true, false true, false and true. It's jumping by 1 and 1. بعدين we go to our statement. الحين ما فيها brackets, ما فيها أقواس. What should I do first? Should I do the or أول ولا should I do the negation first? I should start with the negation صح؟ Yeah. So أول شيء we do the negation. بعدين أسوي الimplication ولا الor أول؟ أسوي الor أول. Yeah. بعدين the third thing I will do the implication. So رتبناها the negation of R first, then I'm gonna do the or between P or Q. بعدين 3 I'm gonna do the implication. الترتيب من هنا. أول إذا I have a bracket بعدين negation بعدين and or the exclusive or بعدين the implication the biconditional بعدين we see from left to right if we have more than one. So الأولوية للنegation هنا للor للimplication. Okay? لأنه ما حطي أقواس. They didn't put the brackets for me. They just write the statement. I have to think about the precedence. Which one is stronger to happen first? فإيش يعني negation of R? What does negation of R mean? استنى على قوانين التكافؤ. بالنسبة لقوانين التكافؤ راح يكون عندنا 2 pages of formulas. You have to memorize them. استنوا على التكافؤ شوي. So what is the negation of R? إيش يعني negation of R? نفي R. So the opposite of R. R is false, true, false, true, false, true. So it will be true, false, true, false, true, false, true, and false. Exactly. إيش يعني P or Q؟ يعني ال P وال Q I'm gonna join them with or. بجمعهم بالor. اتفقنا إيش فيها الor؟ How does the or act here? Easy going. Nice. Always true. ما عدا لما يكون كله false. بس توقف. So double check بسرعة. عندي false false هذه بتكون false. عندي false false هذه بتكون false. False true is true. False true is true. True false is true. True false is true. True true is true and true true is true as well. فما عندي false false إلا the first two ones. False false والباقي كله true. Good. Next مفروض إني أجيب P or Q لمين؟ لنيجيشن R وننتبه للسهم من هنا إلى هنا. من ال P or Q I will go to negation of R. false رايحة لل true. It's true. الامبليكيشن false بحالة واحدة. أذكركم it's just false لما true goes to false بس والباقي كله true. false to true, it's a true. False to false is a true. True to true is a true. True to false now, it is false. And true to true is a true. True to false is false. True to false هنا برضو is false. وهنا this one is a true. ممكن يا هاي يعني حابة ان النفي تجيبينها قدام بدل ما يصير راجعة لورا it's fine. ممكن تحطينها قدامها عشان ما تتخربطين. مو يا مصطفى احنا قلنا logically ممكن ان action يكون false والنتيجة تطلع true. ممكن. يعني ما ذاكرت لكن جبت درجة كويسة. Because I'm smart, because whatever. فit happened logically. لكن منطقيا اللي ما يحصل ان اسوي good act والنتيجة false. منطقيا this is not acceptable. اوكي. بالنسبة للتكافؤ اللي هو equivalence راح يكون عندنا a lot of formulas بقول لكم هذه للحفظ. just wait. ليش عكسنا هو كذا؟ اساسا ال P or Q go to negation of R. مين رايح لمين؟ Now, one of the most important things, it comes a lot. راح يجيكم بالكويز، ممكن يكون موجود في TMA، ممكن يجي في الفاينل as well. We have what we call the converse. We have what we call the inverse. We have what we call the contrapositive. Okay? طبعا يعني اللي ما حضر المحاضرة الأولى ما راح يفهم الحين. اللي ما حضر المحاضرة الأولى احنا we are continuing what we did first. You have to go back to the previous class. It's recorded already so that you can understand what we are talking about here. We have what we call the converse, the inverse, and the contrapositive. If we have an implication and P رايحة للQ, we can find what we call the converse, which is a Q go to P. Switch. We can have what we call the inverse, اللي هو زي ما هو but with a not. P go to Q, it will be negation of P go to negation of Q. We could have what we call the contrapositive, which is switching with a not as well. I'm going to show you how the questions comes on this one. Okay? So this is what we call the converse, the inverse, and the contrapositive. Now let me show you a simple thing. The same example we talked about last time. If you study, then you get an A. هذه فيها P وفيها Q. What's my P? You study. What's my Q? You get an A. فI know إن هذه ال P لأنها جاية عند ال F and it implies the Q and this is my Q. So I can ask you to find me the converse of this one. What's the converse? Which will be what? If you get an A, then you study. مو لازم يكون لها معنى. Just converse. If you get an A, then you study. لا يا مصطفى اللي انت قلته غلط. انت لسه ال F جاية عند you study. فلسه ال F جاية عند B. We want to switch. We want الF تروح للQ. Yeah. If you get an A, then you study. طيب, if I ask you to find the inverse, how's the inverse? بالضبط. الانفرس it will be negation of P go to negation of Q من غير ما أغير مكانهم. So it will be like F just 1 second, it disconnected. So it will be if you didn't study, then you do not get A. فهذا الانفرس. فكرة الانفرس إن the same thing ولكن I will get not and not. I will add not and not to the statement. Now, what about if they want the contrapositive? What about the contrapositive? We switch لQ وال P وبرضه بدخل عليهم negation. فيها switch وفيها negation as well. So it will be if you didn't, that's correct, get A, then you didn't study. شايفين كيف ان احنا سوينا switch؟ The statement جاية من you study, you get A. If we switch, if you didn't get A, that you didn't study. You have to be careful. هذه مرة دقيقة الجزئية هذه, and it's one of the things that they bring a lot. And you remember إنه when I told you إن حتى الستيتمنت حقت ال if then أحيانا تيجي مش clear زي كذا. This one is very clear. If and then. أحيانا they are using whenever. أحيانا they are using only if. So the most important part of the question إنه you decide which one is P, which one is a Q. مين رايح لمين؟ عشان لما أسوي switch صحيح. Okay. Okay. كذا يعطيكم statement يقول لك find the inverse, find the converse, find me the contrapositive, or it can be a multiple choice. The inverse of this statement is. Now we have one example هنا. الحين grammar thing اللي هو English language I told you it's not that much important. استخدمته didn't, don't, was, wasn't, weren't, يعني خربطته في الجرامر, it's fine. The most important thing in the direction صحيح. Where is the F? Where is the N? Where is the then? I mean. Okay? We have one more example here. Write me the converse, write me the inverse, write me the contrapositive of this statement. If X is not equal to 0, then John is a programmer. What is my P? X equal to 0. What is my Q? John is a programmer. So if I want to find the converse, what should I do for the converse? Converse إيش نسوي? Switching. Q, go to P. فراح يكون if John is a programmer, then X is not equal to 0. عكسنا. طيب if I want to find the inverse, what does the inverse do? يخليها زي ما هي ولكن it just add a negation. It will be negation to negation. Yeah. So النفي حق x not equal to 0 is x equal to 0. The negation of John is a programmer. John is not a programmer. So if x not equal to 0, which means equal to 0, then John is not a programmer. الحين لو واحد كتب لي it is not x not equal to 0, صح. It's fine. It's still fine. لو ما جاء في بالكم إنه to remove the not equal and make it like equal to 0, you just wrote it like not x not equal to 0. Still fine. Now, what about the contrapositive here? How we do the contrapositive? Yeah, تكرار هذا الإكزامبل اللي سويته. It will be switch and negation في نفس الوقت. So, if John is not a programmer, then x not equal to 0, يعني x equal to 0. Okay, you got that? Yeah, that's correct. Depends, yeah, Omar, depends on the question. It could be multiple choice. It could be essay where they want you to find all of them in inverse, converse, or contrapositive. يعتمد على السؤال. I cannot tell exactly how the questions will come. You must know the idea, you must know the concept itself. طيب, I mentioned now we didn't finish all the operators. We remain with one more operator اللي هو biconditional. If and only if. Okay? So the if and only if, you can see you have two arrows. So if I say P, if and only if Q, معناها إن ال P go to Q and the Q go to P. Actually, it means this. معناها إن ال B go to Q and the Q go to P at the same time. هذا معنى the two arrows that we have here. Each one of them go to the other one. If you study, you get an A. If you get an A, this means you study. كل واحد يؤدي للثاني. It is sufficient and condition. Sufficient and necessary condition, I mean. Okay? مربوطين ببعض. You do this, this will happen. You do this, this will happen. Okay? If you eat well, you will be healthy. You will have a healthy body. If you have a healthy body, this means that you eat well. So something by conditional thing it is. So we write it in different ways. ممكن إنه we write it like if and only if. P if and only if Q. ممكن if P then Q and conversely بمعنى والعكس. ممكن we write it like it is sufficient and necessary condition for Q. Okay? And also we do use the double F. We can write it like double F Q. Okay? Now this is the truth table. البايكونديشنال since إن هذا يؤدي إلى هذا وهذا يؤدي إلى هذا, they should be the same. Both of them true, both of them are false, then it's gonna be true. Otherwise it's false. It's true لما both of them are the same. لأن it makes sense, يعني they should be equal. And by the way, the biconditional, it's the same as the equal, same as the equivalent. معناها they are the same. Both true or both are false. Otherwise, it's false. لما one true, one false, one true, it's gonna be false. Okay? So this is how the biconditional work in the truth table. So again, one more example of translating English statement into logical expression. As I told you, ممكن يكون عندي logical expression and I change it to English language. ممكن I have an English language statement and I want to change it to logical expression. So they are giving me this English statement. I want to change it to logical expression. على طول أبدأ أشوف connectives. If معناها عندي conditional هنا. You are a computer science major or connective. You are not is a connective. Then جاية مع ال F. You can access the internet campus. So this separates the statement to me. If you are a computer science major, I refer to it with a C. You are not a freshman, F, not F, so C with not F. Then you can access the internet from the campus. طبعا changing the place of the bracket is wrong. If إيش وإيش, then إيش. If you are a computer science major or you are not a freshman, then you can access the internet. So جايين مع بعض. If those two things happen, then you can access the internet from the campus. So there should be a bracket between C or negation of F, and then this implies the A. ما نبدأ نغير مكان البراكت is wrong. No, it's better to put the brackets. Okay. لازم الترتيب ولازم البراكت. بالضبط. Yeah, you should define, and this is C, this is F, this is A, before you write your statement. You already finished this. Now we will go to the different concepts, which is the bit string. Now the bit string is a sequence of 0 and 1s. The 0 is the false, the 1 is considered as the true. Good? So I can deal with the 0 as the false, and I can deal with the 1 as the true, and I can join the bits using and using or and using the exclusive or, same as the rules that we mentioned already. Using the rules that we mentioned already. So for example, I have those two bit strings of length 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Each one of them is of length 10. I want to join them using and مرة, using or, and using the XOR. راح أجمعهم مع بعض, راح أجمعهم. Okay? So if I'm using and, اتفقنا إن and is true only if both of them are true, صح? And it's false otherwise. So if it's true only if both of them are 1. So I can check 0, 1, it is 0. 1 with 1 and it's 1. 1 and 0, it is 0. 0, 0, it is 0. ما راح يكون 1 إلا لما both of them are 1. Using the concept of a true false. So 1 and 0 is a 0. 1, 1 is 1. هنا بعد 1, 1, it will be 1, and the rest are all 0. You got it? Using the concept of a true and false, considering the 1 as a true. Now, if I'm joining with the or الحين, if I'm joining with the or, what about the or? The or is true ما عدا لما both of them are false, يعني ما عدا لما both of them are 0. Only if both of them are 0, so I can check it quickly. هنا بس عندي 2 zeros صح? The rest are all having 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. Just here I will have a 0 and the rest is 1, شايفين? This is the or. Yeah. What about the exclusive or? ايش قانون؟ احنا ما ذكرنا القانون حق الاكسكلوسيف اور المرة هذه. We mentioned it last time. الحين الاكسكلوسيف or, if both of them are true, it's gonna be false. If both of them are false, it's gonna be false. if one of them is true and one of them is false, it's gonna be true. Yeah, that's correct. It's not writing. What's happening here? Again, إنه لما الإكسكلوسيف OR حصري. إيش يعني حصري؟ يعني it's true بس لما واحد فيهم true. Again, disconnected. Just 1 second. Yeah, I know, no screen. It hanged. Just 1 second. What about now? What about now? You can see it? Yeah, good. So exclusive OR, XOR حصري بمعنى one true, one false, it will be true. One false, one true, it will be true. لكن لما both of them are true, it is false. لما both of them are false, it is false. حصري, exclusive. It should be one of them. Okay? So, quick check. This one will be true. هذا exclusive. This one will be true. This one will be true. And this one is exclusive one. This one is exclusive, and this one is exclusive. So I will have 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1, and بعدين الباقي zeros. You got it? You got that? Yeah. So we are just applying these rules على 1 و 0. Yeah, we move to the next thing. We will talk about propositional equivalence. We will talk about two special types of propositional equivalence that we call tautologies and contradictions. What does tautology mean? Tautology معناها a proposition, a compound proposition that is always true. يعني when we do the truth table, الcolumn كلها true. In this case, we say it is a tautology. A simple example لما يكون عندي P or negation of P. الحين P or negation of P بس P عندي. So I'm talking about P which is مرة false مرة true. ونegation P will be true and false. طيب, if I'm joining them with the or, يعني I will find P or negation of P. False or true? True. True or false? It's true. It's all true ولا لا؟ كلها true ولا لا؟ It's a tautology. So, أسهل example على التاutology اللي هي P or negation of P. It makes sense. الحين ال P or negation of P لازم واحدة فيهم true. يا هذه true يا هذه true. إذا ال P true negation P راح تكون false. إذا ال P false negation of P is true. طيب if I'm joining them with or, it will be true. بالمنطق كذا يا حنان. أنا لما أقول عندي P وعندي negation P. الحين ال P true, the negation is false. ال P false, the negation is true. If I'm joining with or, it will be always true. Let's check the contradiction now. Now, for the contradiction, we say it is a contradiction if it happened in all the values of the compound proposition are false. بمعنى table, if I construct the table, التable كله راح يكون false. وبعد برضو common example is when we have P and the negation of P. لو قلت لكم سووا لي التيبل حق ال P and negation of P, how many rows we have? two only. هذا ال P and this is the negation of P. ال P false true و negation is true false. Okay, join them with and. اربطوا لي اياهم بالand. اتفقنا ان الand بس تشوف false تصير false صح ولا لا؟ It's only true if both of them are true. So false true false true false false. كل القيم false ولا لا؟ It's all false ولا لا؟ It's all false, which means it is a contradiction. Okay, يجي question and prove that this one is a tautology. Prove this one is a contradiction. You have to construct the truth table. You have to show in all the values are true or all the values are false. طبعا sometimes, like the examples that we have before, it is a mix between being true and false. In this case, we call it contingencies. Example in P or Q, example P implies R, and so many examples we have. Mix between being true, between being false. We have here one example to show you how questions comes. Show me that this one is a tautology. طبعا ننتبه للquestion. The question يقول show that. ايش يعني show that؟ يعني وروني ان it is. فمعناها it is. مو نجي في النهاية نقول it's not tautology. It should be a tautology when we finish. لأنه يقول لي show that. أثبت لي. يعني it is هو يقول لك إن it is a tautology. الحين أحيانا check whether. يعني يمكن لا. Determine whether. يعني ممكن لا. لكن لما يقول show طبعا هاي فيها mistake هنا المفروض نكتب show كذا. yeah. فلما يقول لي show معناه خلاص إن it is a tautology. طيب show me that this is a tautology. Check it. I have P implies P or Q. Yeah? How many propositions I have? كم proposition? كم simple proposition هنا? P و Q. I have two of them. فمعناها القانون it is 2 to the power 2. معناها I will have a table of 4 rows. Half of the 4 is 2 goes to the P. Half of the 2 is 1 will go to the Q. Construct the table. نحط ال P. نحط ال Q. 2 false to true. False true and false true. I don't have a brackets هنا. لكن أنا already خلاص أعرف القوانين أعرف ال precedence of each one of those operators. What should I do أول؟ أسوي implication ولا ال or أول؟ Which one should have it first? Yeah. ال or أول بعدين بسوي ال implication. So I will find P or Q, then I will find P go to P or Q. كده أكون سويت الجدول. أبدأ أعبي P or Q, false, true, true, true. P now implies P or Q using the implication rule. It will be all true as you can see. كلها true ولا لا؟ خلاص صارت واضحة القوانين صح؟ صار واضح how to construct this table. So all true بمعنى it is what? It's a tautology. معناها it is a tautology. Okay. Now we came to the logic laws, the equivalence logic laws, the one that you keep on asking about. نحفظ ما نحفظ, yeah, you have to memorize them. عندنا 1, 2, 3 pages of laws, of rules. محتاجين نحفظهم. Okay. First rule. Understand them and then memorize them. نفهمها بعدين نحفظها. If you understand them خلاص directly when you see it you can apply it. First of all عندنا identity law. It states that P and true is always P. الحين ارجع اتذكر انا الان how does the and work. الان كيف تشتغل؟ اذا كانت البي true والtrue هنا it will be true فراح ترجع للبي. واذا كانت البي false وسويت لها and with true it will be false فبرجع للبي مرة ثانية. فأنا I'm always going back to B. الحين البي ممكن تكون false وممكن تكون true. وفي الحالتين بسوي لها and with the T. Yeah? For false and true it will be false. True and true it will be true. فأنا قاعدة أرجع للبي مرة ثانية. So it goes back to the P all the time. Okay? You can hear me? There is a sound? Yeah, now you can hear me? Okay. Now, same thing can be applied على ال or with the F. الحين لما يكون عندي ال P ممكن تكون false, it could be true. If I make or false, it will be false, which take me back to P. If the P is true and I make it or with the false, it will be true, which take me back to P. So P or false is P. Now the domination law, it states that P or true is always true. لأن ال true, لأن ال or whenever it see true, it will be true. فدائما P or true is true all the time. P and F is F لأن ال and بس تشوف F تروح للF. Yeah, so P and F will directly go to F. ال or بس تشوف true تروح للtrue. وال and بس تشوف F راح تروح للF. ف this is the domination law. Now the idempotent law لما when we have P or P it's P. When we have P and P it is P as well. The double negation law لما يكون عندي negation of a negation this will take me back to P. It makes sense ولا لا؟ لما ال P true بتروح ل false لما ال false أسوي لها negation it will go to true again which take me back to the P. Can I have 1 second please? Just 1 second. I'm coming back. Okay, I'm back. We will have examples, don't worry. We have the commutative law. إيش يعني commutative? Commutative يعني التبديلي when we can change. الحين if I say P or Q or P, they are the same. So we can switch actually. Same thing we can do with the and. I can switch if I have P and Q. This is same as a Q and P. Also we have the associative law. If I have P or Q or R, يعني P و Q مع بعض inside one bracket, then I do it or with R. This is same as if I do Q or R, then I do or with a P. It's the same thing. Same thing can be done with the and. If I have P and a Q and R, and if I have Q and R and the P, this is again the same. Okay, so this is what we call the associative law. Distributive law now, I have a Q and R inside the bracket, and outside I have the P and I have or. داخل عندي and outside I have or. In this case we distribute, نوزع. It will be P or Q. it will be P or R with and in between them. It makes sense ولا لا؟ وزعنا. Same as what we do with the multiplication. If I have a bracket, have two numbers, I have to distribute to the numbers that we have inside. نفس لما كان عندنا مثلا for example في numbers, for example you have x plus y and it's multiplied with a 2. What we do? It is 2 بالx plus 2 بالy. يتوزع. The same thing عندي or وعندي and. So it will be P or Q, P or R with and in between them. Like if I have and in between or have or in between, I mean and outside, again the same thing. It راح يتوزع. It will be P and Q. It will be P and R with or in between them. Yeah. One of the most important rules that we have is the De Morgan rule, named after that scientist De Morgan. You can see his picture here. The De Morgan's law is when we have a negation on the bracket, which is P and Q, or a negation على bracket that has P or Q. راح تدخل النegation على P. The negation will go on the Q, will change to or. Yeah. زي لما كنا نضرب بعدد سالب يدخل على القوس ويغير الإشارات صح ولا لا؟ it will be negation P, it will be negation Q, and the and will change to or. طيب لو كان عندي or, it will be negation of P, it will be negation of Q, and the or will change to and. Okay? So this is what we call the De Morgan's law. We have the trivial, tautology, and the contradiction. We mentioned this before. لو كان عندي P or negation of P, it's a tautology. ولو كان عندي P and negation of P, this will be a contradiction. It will be false. Okay. And this is one of the most important ones, by the way. هذه نحط عليها highlight لأنه we use it a lot. We proved it before بالtable. We said إن لما ال P go to Q هذه نفسها negation of P or Q. هذه من الأشياء اللي ال GCC مرة يحب يجيب منها أسئلة. Okay. هذه من الريليشن اللي مرة مهمة. P implies a Q. It's the negation of P or Q. دائما dealing with the implication is kind of hard. Easier to deal with the or. فدائما we use this relation عشان we change the implication to or. The next one comes from this one actually. إذا قلت negation P go to Q, it's negation of negation P or Q, which is P and Q. هذه جاية من هذه actually, so it's not that much important. Also, contrapositive. We mentioned the contrapositive before, remember? قلنا إذا كان عندي P go to Q, the contrapositive is switching with a negation. It will be negation P, Q, go to negation P. Remember that? نعكس وننفي. They are the same. القانون يقول لي إن actually they are the same. عكست ونفيت نفس الأساسي. If you study, you get an A. If you didn't get an A, then you didn't study. They are the same. Contrapositive is giving the same. البايconditional برضو هذا one of the basic thing in if I have P if and only if Q معناها P go to Q and Q go to P. And also we have in the negation of P if and only if Q is same as P exclusive or Q. Okay? So those are the rules that we have. Now, here they are showing you how to prove those equivalencies. كيف هم عرفوها هذه equivalencies؟ كيف اكتشفوا إن this is equal to this؟ they constructed a truth table and they proved that this one is equal to this one. So for example, if I want you to prove in P or Q and negation of P and negation of Q are logically equivalent, how can you prove this? بسوي table. I want to prove in this and this are equal. أول شيء I have P and I have Q. I have P and I have Q. So I have two propositions هنا. So it is 2 to the power 2. Prove يعني إثبات. Prove يعني إثبات. أثبتي. الحين prove. Show. كلهم mean the same thing. نفس كلمة show. So 2 to the power 2 is equal to 4. Half of the 4 is 2. Half of the 2 is 1. The 2 go to P. Will 1 go to Q? Construct the table. The P is jumping to 2 like false, false, true, true. The Q jumping like false, true, false, and true. بعدين ببدأ أجيب الأشياء اللي أحتاجها. I need to find P or Q. I need the negation of P and I need the negation of Q. I need to find negation of P and negation of Q, and I need to find the negation of P and negation of Q. And after I'm done, I will compare this and this, اللي هي هذه وهذه. Are they the same? Yes, they are the same, which means they are logically equivalent. الحين you must be able to construct such a table, by the way. خلاص. You can find the negation first. طبعا negation should go first. We must find the negation عشان نحطه داخل القوس. يعني you can find this one first and then the other one. Okay. Is it clear? Exercise by finding this one. كيف طلعنا القيم؟ مشينا عليها واحد واحد. الحين this one. For this one. نمشيها step by step. And I know إن عندي P عندي Q فعندي two propositions فأم gonna construct the table false false true true false true and false true. بحتاج أجيب ال left hand side اللي هو ال P or Q. كيف أجيب P or Q? This is P, this is Q. ال or, how does it work? It is false only when both of them are false and it's true otherwise. بحتاج أجيب negation of P. بحتاج أجيب negation of Q. بعدين بحتاج أجيب لهم and. This is the negation of P, which is true, true, false, false. Negation of Q, which is true, false, true, false. بعدين join this and this with and. and إيش تسوي؟ بس تشوف false تصير false. So هنا بتكون true. هنا بتكون false. هنا بتكون false. هنا بتكون false. الحين يا هيا you are correct. احنا اتفقنا ان نسوي البراكت بعدين بنسوي النيجيشن بعدين بنسوي الاند والاور. لكن هذا وهذا they are a separate thing. هذا الليفت هاند سايد وهذا الرايت هاند سايد. فكل واحد فيهم بشتغل فيه لحاله. I have two sides already. ففيرست أنا جبت الأول بعدين بجيب الثاني. It's not one statement. واحدة والثانية. Okay. فجبنا النيجيشن بعدين جبنا الأند بعدين جبنا the negation of the and. الأخيرة is the negation of P and negation of Q. هذا negation of P and negation of Q. The negation of this one, the true will be false, والfalse will be true. لو عكسته عادي، لو حطيت هذه في البداية وبعدين هذه جات هنا it's fine. كيف تبدأ يعني كيف تبدأ بالقوس يا عمر؟ طب أنت لما تيجي تسوي القوس بتلاقي داخل نيجيشن، وين النيجيشن؟ أحتاج النيجيشن أول. أوكي؟ دائما النيجيشن نجيب أول واحد أساسا. أنا for me أبدأ أحط P أحط Q بعدين أجيب النيجيشن P نيجيشن Q بعدين أبدأ أشوف باقي الأشياء. الحين negation of P and negation Q معناها negation of this one. راح أنفي هذا. So true will be false, والfalse will be true, الfalse will be true, والfalse will be true. Now the last thing is compare. I compare two things اللي أنا أصلاً يعني I'm working to compare them to check if they are the same ولا لا. So I can see إن P or Q when negation of P and the negation of Q, they are the same. They are the same. Okay. فالحين whenever they say prove, whenever they say show معناها إنه لازم يطلع في النهاية. ما تجون في النهاية تقولون لي no they are not. They should be. فاهمين علي؟ ها فاهمين؟ مو يجي يقول لك prove وفي النهاية تقول لي they are not equivalent. ما يصير. ما قال prove إلا they are. So make it. Do whatever it takes to review your work. Double check. Till you prove that they are the same. يلا. Now الحين using a logic law القوانين الثلاثة صفحات قوانين to prove logic equivalence. الحين if I don't want to use the table ما بستخدم التable. I want to use the laws that I have القوانين اللي أنا أعرفها to prove one thing. One second. طيب I'm back with you. I had to drink some water. Sorry. I'm giving more two examples and we will start. So the thing إن we are using the laws القوانين اللي قلنا راح نحفظها to prove إن عندي something equal to something. Proving. Using the logic to prove. Because this equal to this and this equal to this, this equal to this, then I will get the result. نمشي بالمنطق. Okay? So for example, they want you to show again كلمة show معناها it is. Show me in this and this are logically equivalent. طبعا we can use the table to prove they are logically equivalent like with what we did before. نجيب التable حق هذا والتable حق هذا and we prove they are equal. But we can use the laws that we have. So هذا راح أسميه left hand side الطرف اليسار وهذا راح أسميه right hand side. أحيانا الجدول مو أسهل. و sometimes they ask you to prove using two different ways. أحيانا يقول لك استخدم طريقتين للإثبات. So you have to use the table and you have to use this way. ماشي؟ So one of them I'm going to call it the left hand side, one of them I'm going to call it the right hand side. So we start with the left hand side and we prove in it is equal to the right hand side. ممكن تحل هي بإمكانك تحلين whatever way you want if they didn't specify. لكن أحيانا they specify. يقول لك use the logic law. أحيانا they specify. They say using the truth table. أحيانا they say prove it using two different ways. So you have to be careful about what they want in the question. أحيانا they don't specify anything, so you can use whatever way you want. Okay? So I'm using the logic law هنا لأن proving using the logic law this question. So the left hand side is the negation of P or the bracket negation of P and Q. The first thing come to my mind إن أنا عندي negation وعندي قوس وعندي or صح؟ نفس الماينس لما تدخل على القوس. So it has to go inside and the or will change to what? The or will change to what? ها؟ To and صح ولا لا؟ So the negation تدخل على القوس، تدخل على ال P وتدخل على ال negation of P and Q as one thing. وال or will change to and. شايفين ايش اللي صار؟ عندي and والand رابطة شيئين القوس هذا وال P. فالنيجيشن تدخل على ال P Oh my god, again, it disconnected. I'm here. It is just that the slide keep on closing. So as we say, in the negation will go inside. It will be negation of P. It will be negation of P and Q, and the or change to and. هذه دي مورغان law. هذه دي مورغان. One more De Morgan law to be applied هنا لأن I have negation وتدخل على ال and. So it will be negation P. It will be negation of Q, and the and will change to or. الحين what is negation P? زي minus, it will be what? Plus, yeah, it will be P. So this will be P or negation of Q. Now, I'm not yet there. هذا right hand side اللي قاعدة أحاول أوصل له. I'm not yet there. I have to do something. What do you think? And negation P, عندي P وعندي negation of Q. هنا and في النص عندي or. أوزع distributive, that's correct. So negation P and P, negation P and negation of Q. And here what is negation and negation? Negation P and P, I mean, it's false. From the rules. From the rules, in the negation of P and P is false. Or negation P and negation Q as it is. And here false or anything is the thing. If you remember, we said in the false or P is always P. So false or this bracket is giving me this bracket. And this is what I was looking for. This is my right hand side. That was my left hand side. And this is my right hand side. Okay. هذه rule. If you go back to the rule, it's rule number 2, I think. If we have false or P, it's P. طيب, one more example. Show me that the negation of negation P go to Q go to the negation of Q is contradiction. إيش يعني contradiction؟ إيش يعني contradiction؟ يعني all false, صح ولا لا؟ الحين is it easy to do the table for this one؟ يعني اللي قالوا لي التيبل أسهل. التيبل أسهل in this case؟ It's not. يعني عندنا implication بعدين النيجيشن للإمبليكيشن بعدين النيجيشن راح يروح للنيجيشن ثاني بعدين I will negate it again. بتطول وبتخربط. This one is easier with the logic law by the way. Whenever أي شيء في زي كذا implication على طول remember this law. ال P implies Q نفسها negation of P and sorry or Q. فدائما الامبليكيشن صعب شوي في التعامل. دائما نحوله إلى or. how؟ إن it is negation of الأول or الثاني. Good. So we check the left hand, the statement that we have actually. So if I check it, I go from inside to outside. عندي P go to Q. هذا negation of P or Q. بشيله وبحط مكانه negation of P or Q. Good. So بعدين it has a negation outside as well. في negation برا. So I can let the negation go inside. يتوزع negation داخل وال or will change to and it will be negation of P which is P. It will be negation of Q. The or will be and. Then عندي implication again. الحد الأول هذا وهذا second term. This is the first term and this is the second term. Apply the same rule. Negation الفirst or الsecond. Negation الأول or الثاني. So it will be negation of P and negation of Q or the negation of Q. Now again, I will let the negation go inside. It will be negation of P. It will be negation of Q, which is a Q, and the and will change to or. It became كلها or. Negation P or Q or negation of Q. برضو one of the rules إن لما يكون عندي Q or negation of Q, it's always true. لأن one of them is true. هذا واحدة من الرول برضو. So this and this combined together is a tautology, and negation of P or a tautology is always true. Negation of a true is false, which prove what I wanted, which prove it is a contradictory. Good. I don't get here. We distribute هنا في الخطوة الثالثة احنا we distribute. It's negation P, negation Q. So negation P is P. ايش negation للtrue؟ ايش negation للtrue؟ False. فشيء طبيعي ان negation للtrue it became false. I want to show you something. Let me show you some examples here. I have a class now. So let me show you some revision. I'm trying to find Just 1 second. Okay, so enough from the slide. I just want to show you some examples here. Yeah, you can see this one. شايفين ملف الوورد اللي فاتحته قدامكم. All of those are examples where they want you to use the logic law to prove in the two statements are logically equivalent. I'm gonna send you this file, inshallah, okay? Today I'm gonna send you this file. Practice with it. Next time, before we start our class, we will discuss this. ماشي؟ هذه كلها هذه practice على اللي سويناه اليوم. هنا state the converse, the inverse, the contrapositive of each of the following statements. شايفين الstatement? They want you to find the inverse والconverse والcontrapositive. وروني كيف راح تجيبون الconverse والinverse والcontrapositive of this statement. هنا, without using the truth table, I want you to show that this one is a tautology. تحلونها بنفسكم, and next time we're gonna discuss the solution. I'm gonna send this to you. ما راح احلها معاكم الحين, خلاص احنا we remain with only 10 minutes. راح ارسل لكم اياها and you have to solve it. في الويكند. In the weekend I'm gonna send you a record بيكون وبحطها على ال LMS, okay? I'm gonna put this revisions على ال LMS. Get them from there. هذا prove its tautology without using the logic law. Let me show you the second file. Where is that one? Here we go. هذا في زي multiple choice questions. Here. What's the contrapositive of this one? What's the negation of this one? Yeah, بيكون نفس الأفكار بالكويز وبالفاينل ممكن يكون نفس الأفكار. إيش negation of this one? Now the predicate, we still didn't take the predicate. So this one keep it لحد ما خلص predicate. Now what's the negation of إن علي famous but not rich? Using the logic equivalence that we got to this time, you have to know what's this. Now this one we still didn't take predicates. This one, yeah, you can do it. Determine whether this proposition and this proposition logically equivalent using the truth table. اشترط إن بالtruth table. الحين لما يجينا كلمة determine معناها مو شرط, يعني يمكن إيه ويمكن لا. يختلف عن show and prove. Determine يعني ممكن لا. Okay? So those are the two files I'm gonna send. The predicate part خلوها later. حلوا الأشياء اللي related للي إحنا خلصنا لحد الآن. ماشي؟ How many attendees we have today? I'm gonna download the participant list. Asil, you have a question, Asil? I'm allowing you to open your mic if you want to. Hanan as well. I'm allowing you to unmute if you want to talk. Go ahead.
ايوه دكتورة, السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام.
معلش شكله هذا اسيل باسم بنتي في التيمز, معلش.
اوكي, نو بروبلم. لا بس المفروض تدخلون باسمائكم باي ذا واي, ها؟
معلش يا دكتورة، لأنه أنا والله ما انتبهت، لأنه يعني عندي أكثر من حساب حق العمل وحساب حق هذا وحساب.
إنه open it على البراوزر، اختار الأوبشن إنه open in the browser.
ما في مشكلة، الله يبارك فيك يعني. أبدا أنا رفعت يدي وقتها على أساس كان عندي خلاف في موضوع التيبل اللي فوق. احنا الحين ايش قصدنا بالإشارة لما تكون مثلا الآن فيه الجدول. لحظة خليني أرجع له.
أوكي. أي جدول بالضبط؟
تيبل اللي فوق، مو هذا ولا هذا، لا فوق كمان كمان. بس هنا
أيوة.
هنا كان قلنا العكس صح؟
النيجيشن.
ايوه صح، يعني انا كذا فهمت انه هذه وهذا العكس صح؟
ايوه، المفروض ان هذا التيبل بالنسبه لي ناقص. ليش؟ لان المفروض يكون عندنا 1 كولوم نحط فيه نيجيشن بي اللي هو true true false
ايوه
false، عشان لما اجي استخدمه يكون قدامي، ما اجي اسويها منتوي اعكس وكذا. المفروض يكون قدامنا كله.
يعني هو ناقص العمود ذا ناقص في الجدول.
ناقص في التيبل، يعني انا بالنسبه لي انه ناقص. يعني
ايوه عشان كذا شوفي كذا طلعت صح، كذا صح على
ايوه
حسب ما فهمنا، كذا صح حسب القانون كمان.
بالضبط exactly.
يلا الله يجزاك خير، شكرا جزيلا.
تيتشر أنا مش معك في الكلاس، أقدر أطول على التيتشر.
ما انا قلت ما في مشكله، اللي معي بالشعب او اللي مو معي no problem at all.
يعني إذا غير خبر الأولى، أعطي خبر للدكتورة الأولى يعني.
لا ما في مشكله،
يعني ما يحتاج أحضر معك على طول.
يعني ما في مشكله. ورود, you have any question ورود? I allow you to unmute. Go ahead. We are done. I already took the attendance. If you want to leave, you can go ahead.
دكتورة، طب بخصوص القوانين هذه نحفظها، وإيش فرقها عن القوانين اللي تكلمتي عنها أول محاضرة؟
اللي هي الانفرس والكونفرس والكونترابوزيتيف.
قلتي عنه تكافؤ، وبعدين تكلمتي عن القوانين.
If you notice إن already it's included there.
يعني هي نفسها صح؟
نفسها yeah. إذا عندكم الكتاب PDF ارسلوا لي إياه. أحد عنده الكتاب PDF؟ اللي عنده الكتاب PDF يرسل لي إياه. Please send it to me يا شهد. Send it to me please. I'm gonna share it with everybody then. خلاص I already took the attendance. You can leave. Mada, you want to talk? لوجين.
ايوه دكتورة.
Yeah.
كنت بسأل أنا مع دكتورة لميا إذا حضرت معك يأثر عندها الحضور ولا لا؟
جاوبت السؤال هذا مليون مرة. It's fine.
It's fine، يعني ما تاخذ الحضور؟
أنا آخذ الحضور بس for my record.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. عمر تفضل. Okay, ورود, just 1 second. Let me go ahead. ورود, يلا, you can now. Yeah, you can leave. We are done. إذا البروبلم من عندك. أنا يعني فتحت just 1 second. أنا المفروض إني فتحت. ما أعرف والله، ما أعرف. مدى؟ Slide 35. Let me go back to this one. يعني they change the order of the statement. It's fine if you write it بالusual way. عادي. ورود, I'm answering you الحين. Sufficient condition for Q is P. فإيش sufficient condition? will be. فit is sufficient for her to reduce mathematics and to get a good job. تغيير statement. You write it using your own English is fine. عادي. لا يا أحمد, the proposition can be false as well. عادي. It could be true or it could be false. احنا we agreed إن البروبوزيشن فيها fact والfact تكون true or false. عادي. مو لازم تكون true. Mada, I think you had a question for 38. What was your question, Mada? إيش يعني مثبتة؟ ما فهمت عليك. في محمد, I allow you to unmute. You can go ahead.
السلام عليكم دكتور.
عليكم السلام.
انت قلت المحاضره اللي فاتت انكم حترسل المحاضره الاولى
أرسلتها على الإلمس
الفيديو.
أيوة, أرسلتها على الإلمس على كل الطلاب اللي مسجلين على الإلمس.
فين بالله معلش دكتور, بس لو توضحي لي فيها.
أرسلت بالإيميل, يعني أرسلت على إيميلكم المفروض. وصلكم ولا لا؟ في أحد وصل له؟
انا ما جاني.
في أحد وصل له؟ في زملائك وصل لهم. طيب ارسل لي ايميل وارجع ارسله.
انا ارسلت لك في الايميل، قلت لك فيه يا دكتور ابغى يا دكتوره سهى ابغى المحاضره الاولى.
طيب ثواني بس اطلع الرابط وارسل الحين على الشات، ممكن تاخذونه منه. ثواني.
خلصت المحاضره دكتوره؟
خلصنا المحاضرة يعني I have to leave anyway برضو لأن they are closing the building. بس ثواني أشوف الرابط إذا Okay, here we go. أنا أرسلت المفروض الرابط على الشات. المفروض إنه يفتح معكم. إذا ما فتح معاكم ارسلوا لي إيميل وأنا أرسل. أوكي؟ I have to leave now. Next time, inshallah, if you have any question or any discussion, معلش مدى, I have to leave because they are closing the building. It's already 4 now. Next time, inshallah, try to read it, try to understand it. I'm gonna send you the 2 copies of the revision, solve it in the weekend, and we will discuss it together. Okay? Yeah, let's see you next time and take care. Bye bye.
دكتوره
I forgot to stop the record and everything was in there. يلا ها.